What's up, Chad? You didn't hesitate. I love it. What's up, everybody? This is break number 897 BD. This is a case, a 6-box break of Topps Update Series Jumbo boxes. 6 boxes in the break. Let's get into it. Six boxes. You're a walking zombie right now? Yeah. That was too long between breaks for me. I'm a walking zombie myself. I'm not used to that. Alright, we're looking for 1 auto, 2 relics per box. Here's our 2 bonus packs. Alright. You got the Royals and the Mariners. Alright, brother. Here we go, guys. Box number 1. We're going to take our time a little bit through this first box. Kind of look and see how the cards are set up in the boxes. We're going to fly through the base. But we're going to still look a little bit. Make sure we don't miss anything. Alright, here we go. Our first card. First important card. That is 15 out of 2025. 15 out of 2025. That is Jake Magnum for the Tampa Bay Rays. 157 out of 250. Romy Gonzalez. Romy Gonzalez. 157 out of 250 for the Red Sox. Our first patch of the break. That's Brooks Lee. Brooks Lee. That's on the 51 of 99 on the Topps 1990 throwback. Let me see what top loader these get. Is it 59 or is it 100? It's 59. There we go. All right. Johan Moncada on the speckles. There's Pete Alonso on the foil. Joe DiMaggio on the throwback foil. Ellie De La Cruz on the mystical. Hey, Cody Clemens, Roger Clemens' son. Okay. Alright, so kind of see how they are. Alright, let's go. Here we go. That is Aaron Judge on the purple foil. That is Jack Dreyer on the speckles for the Dodgers. Stephen Kwan on the All-Star foil. There's Tyler Soderstrom on the throwback. Mickey Mantle on the MVP remake card. We got Zebby Matthews. Zebby Matthews on the foil. Jackson Hayward on the foil. That is an aqua foil. That's a regular foil. Freddie Freeman on the All-Star. There's Spencer Torkelson. Matt Shaw on the Topps Gold. Black gold. Logan Van Way on the Aqua foil. Nick Kurtz, there's your rookie Speckles. Rookie of the Year Speckles. Cal Raleigh, second in the MVP voting. Lost to Judge by not a lot. Hai-Song Kim on the throwback. Francisco Lindor on the Night Terrors. Night Terrors insert. The MVP voting is done. Judge won, and of course Shohei was a landslide. Shohei was a landslide. He unanimous. Our next, that is Major League Material, Luis Angel Acuna on the pinstripe for the Mets. That one is not numbered. There is Nod and Smile, Bobblehead Brilliance. Bobblehead Brilliance, Nod and Smile, Shohei Ohtani. Byron Buxton on the All-Star game. There's Lou Gehrig on the throwback. Giancarlos on the MVP. There's your first half. Oh my goodness gracious. Nick Kurtz on the... Wow. I need a... Nick Kurtz for the A's on the 3-color patch. Throwback patch. 3-color. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Wow, that's a sick patch. That is a sick patch for the A's. There we go. Nice hit. Nice hit. That is gorgeous. Let me get a better top loader. Or a better penny sleeve. Let's redo this. There we go. That is gorgeous. First big hit of the break. Nick Kurtz, 10 out of 10. There's Hunter Bigby. Mackenzie Gore on the All-Star. Dalton Rushing throwback. Alex Rodriguez on the Bleacher Reacher. JC Escara. There's Paul Skeens on the All-Star game. That is your NL Cy Young, Cade Horton. Christian Campbell on the mythical. There is for Kansas City, Chris Burbick. Chris Burbick for Kansas City. That is numbered 1460 out of 2025. And our first auto is going to the Padres. Our first auto of the break is going to the Padres. So we actually had 3 relics and 1 auto so far out of this case, out of this box. That is Adam Mazur, rookie for the Padres. Not numbered. Patrick Monteverde. Eugenio Suarez. Mickey Mantle on the throwback. Sammy Sosa bleacher reacher. .106 out of 150. That is Eric Orzi. Eric Orzi for Tampa Bay. Blue. James Wood on the rookie. Matt Olson on the All-Star game. Zach Veen on the throwback. That's Miyavi on the first pitch for the Dodgers. .52 of 250 on the purple. That is Luis May. Luis May. That is for the Reds. Yaramil Giraldo. Brent Rooker on the All-Star game. Bobby Witt Jr. There's Dalton Rushing on the black gold. And that is our first box. We got our 2 bonus packs. Here we go. Alright, we got Luke Keyshaw, Andre Dawson, Hideki Matsui, Haesung Kim, and that's it. Any of those were numbered. Let me double check. Sometimes it's hard to see the numbers. It is. This one's orange. 20 out of 25. Haesung Kim. That's why I double check, guys. 20 out of 25. Going to the Dodgers. Mick Abel. Drake Baldwin, your Rookie of the Year. Haesung Kim. And there's Ozzie Smith. These will all be top loaded. And that is box number 1. Box number 2. box number 2. Here we go. All right, we got Alex Verdugo, Gleyber Torres. That is Robert Hassel the third. Justin Morneau on the MVP. Veteran combos. There's City Boys of Jazz Chisholm and Aaron Judge. Jeremy Pena on the All-Star game. Throwback of Luke Keyshaw. Shohei on the Mythical. That is our auto for the Phillies. That is a nice throwback auto of Mick Abel. Mick Abel on the throwback auto for the Phillies. Okay, how many in this break, and are you doing another? Also, just making sure this is the guy from David's Card Show in Phoenix. Yes, I am the guy from David's Card Show in Phoenix. This is a 6-box break, my friend, and this is my last break until next Tuesday. So all of my breaks are listed on Breaks and Takes 2 on our store, my friend, okay? We got Gabriel Arias, foil. Garrett Crochet. Bryce Harper on the foil, throwback. Harmon Killebrew on the All-Star. There's Roki. What's up, Tony? I was in the corner by the bar. I remember. Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you, my friend? How are you? Glad you can make it in to watch the break. Here we go. This is to 150 on the blue. Blue to 150. That is Chase Meadroth for the White Sox. Tanner Gordon on the Speckles. Shohei Ohtani on the All-Star game. That is Jung-Ho Lee for the Giants. Pete Alonso on the Bleacher Reacher. Yeah. I remember who you are, my friend. That's awesome, dude, man. Thank you for checking in, man. I appreciate that, buddy. $187 out of 250. 187. That's Bailey Horn for the Tigers. Zach Littell on the foil. There's Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the All-Star game. Blake Snell. Hyesung Kim on the black gold. Okay. All right, my love. Thank you. You are the best. All right, to 2025 for the Royals, John Rave. Rookie John Rave. That is 1191 out of 2025. 1191 out of 2025. Behind that, we have J.C. Escara for the Yankees. That is number 24 out of 250. Our first patch of the second box. Alejandro Kirk for Toronto. Alejandro Kirk for Toronto. This is an all-star game patch. This is a game used, worn during the All-Star game batting practice. There you go, and it's not numbered. That is Haesung Kim on the Speckles. Foil of Vlad Jr. All-Star. Ronald Acuna Jr. Dylan Cruz on the Mystical. Mystical. You know what? I read that wrong every time, too. Every year. On the purple foil, Max Fried. Speckles of Jeremiah. Is that Jeremiah Estrada on the Speckles. Max Fried on the All-Star Game foil, James Wood throwback. Bleacher Reacher Chipper Jones. All right, to 99, that's Dalton Rushing. Green foil Dalton Rushing. That is 51 of 99 for the Dodgers. 51 of 99. Ryan Bergert on the foil. That's Matt Boyd on the All-Star Game for the Cubs. Moises Ballesteros on the throwback. Juan Soto on the black gold. To 2025, we got Eric Sabrowski. Eric Sabrowski, rookie for Cleveland, 1577 out of 2025. That is Speckles of Soren Lau. Julio on the foil. Mike Trout on the throwback. Roger Maris on the MVP. That's all right, buddy. I got you, Draken. Thank you for trying, bud. Get some sleep. Thank you, bud. Talk to you later. What do we got here? That's Shohei and looks like Roki. How about Paul Skeens on the patch? Paul Skeens on the patch. That's a nice relic. This was player worn relic of Paul Skeens, your Cy Young winner. Not numbered though. We got Blaine Krim on the foil. Robbie Ray. Cam Smith. Night Terrors of James Wood. And that is box number 2. Box number 2. Here are our bonus packs for box 2. Good luck. Ben Williamson for Seattle. Jason Dominguez, the Martian, for the Yankees. Dylan Dingler for the Tigers. And that's Nolan Ryan Green for the Angels to 99. 23 out of 99 for the Angels. Now that's an old school Nolan Ryan right there, man. With the Angels. This is what, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Lawrence Butler, Jackson Chourio, James Wood, and Yorvit Vivas for the Yankees. Box number 3. Box number 3. All right, here we go. First hit is Orlando Ribalta. Orlando Ribalta. That is 824 out of 2025 for the Nats. Zach Agnos. Ryan O'Hearn on the All-Star game. Ken Griffey Jr. on the throwback. Sammy Sosa. One out of 250. First off the line out of 250. That is Miguel Rojas for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 99 out of 150. That is Miles Mastrobuoni for the Mariners. Speckles of Liam Hicks. Kyle Schwarber on the All-Star game. Julio on the throwback. Luke Kershaw on the Mystical. That is for the Padres, rookie Tirso Ornelas. Tirso Ornelas, 1776 out of 2025. And our first auto, or next auto out of this box, Carlos Rodriguez, rookie for the Brew Crew on the throwback auto. This one is numbered 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, Carlos Rodriguez, black. Black auto. Joe Boyle. There's Randy Arozarena. Juan Soto for the Mets. Bryce Harper, Bleacher Reacher. Daniel Roberts, Speckle. Junior Caminero, All-Star. Jackson Chourio, throwback. Julio Rodriguez, Night Terrors. That is an on-card auto. Second auto of the box. This one is Drew Romo Drew Romo for the Colorado Rockies on-card auto. It is not numbered, but it is on card. Nice hit. Kyle Higashioka. Kyle Higashioka for the Rangers. Ellie De La Cruz on the All-Star game. That's Dylan Cruz on the throwback. Mike Schmidt on the MVP. That is Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh on the player-worn relic. Player-worn relic. Cal Raleigh. Not numbered. Paul DeJong on the Speckles. There's Will Smith on the All-Star game. Augustin Ramirez, rookie throwback. Ronald Acuna, Night Terrors. That is Mike Trout on the Pink Night Terrors. Pink Night Terrors short print. That's a nice hit for the Angels. Nice hit for the Angels. Mike Talkman on the Speckles. Ronald Acuna on the All-Star game. Fernando Tatis throwback. There is Bobby Witt Jr. on the Mystical. Nine out of 10. This has got to be black. 9 out of 10. Adel Amador, rookie for the Rockies. Nice hit for the Rockies. Adel Amador, 9 out of 10. Congrats to the Rockies. Christian Vasquez on the foil. Jake DeGrom on the All-Star. Mick Abel. Throwback. James Wood Bleacher Reacher. Noah Cameron on the Speckles. There is Casey Mize on the All-Star game. Drake Baldwin, throwback. Roberto Clemente, MVP. Last pack of box 3 to 2025. That is Lake Bacher. 1036 out of 2025. And our relic. Second relic. That's Shea Whitcomb. Shea Whitcomb on the Rising Rookies relic for the Houston Astros. Not numbered. Johan Moncada on the foil. Logan Webb All-Star. Garrett Crochet foil. Paul Skeens on the Topps black gold. Nice hit for the Pirates. Beautiful. Black gold Paul Skeens. And that is box 3. Let's get those bonus packs in. Bonus packs. Here we go. First bonus pack. Second in the Rookie of the Year voting, Jacob Wilson. The Mickey Mantle. Paul Skeens. And Shohei Ohtani. What a pack that one was. Shohei MVP. Paul Skeens Cy Young. Mickey Mantle, one of the greatest of all times. And Jacob Wilson, second in the ROY voting. Mackenzie Gore. Christian Campbell. Greg Maddux, and a green. That is a green. For the White Sox, Shane Smith, 27 out of 99. 27 of 99, Shane Smith for the White Sox. Again, all of those will be top loaded after the break. Box number 4. Box number 4. Here we go, box number 4, guys. That is Gavin Sheets on the foil. Gleyber Torres, All-Star. Robert Hassel III, and that's Justin Morneau. That is Tim Elko. Tim Elko, that is 1023 out of 2025. Speckles of Orlando Ribalta. Julio Rodriguez All-Star. Mike Trout, Roger Maris. Our first relic goes to the Yankees. That's an All-Star Game relic for Max Fried. Max Fried of the New York Yankees, All-Star Game relic. And that one is not numbered. Jared Triolo. Robbie Ray. We got Cam Smith throwback. James Wood Night Terrors. What do we got here? Is this an auto? Bobby Witt Jr. on the pink throwback. Pink throwback, Bobby Witt Jr. Pink or purple? That's purple, I think. Purple Bobby Witt Jr. on the throwback. Donovan Solano on the speckles. Max Fried All-Star. James Wood, Chipper Jones. There's Drake Baldwin on the debut. .42 out of 50. That should be gold for the Cubs. That is a true gold Justin Steele. True gold Justin Steele for the Cubbies. That is Matt Svensson, Matt Boyd, Moises Ballesteros. That is Juan Soto on the Topps black gold. I like gold. Juan Soto, black gold. All right, second half of box number 4. That is rookie for the White Sox, Mike Vasil. Mike Vasil, rookie for the White Sox, 1951 out of 2025. And that is a Major League Material relic of Marcelo Mayer for the Red Sox. That one is not numbered. It is game worn. Or player worn. Steven Matz, Vladimir Guerrero, Ronald Acuna. There's a mystical of Dylan Cruz. Golden Mirror. That is Brady Feigl. Or Feigl. 602 out of 2022. And our Golden Mirror goes to Alejandro Osuna. On the image variation. Alejandro Osuna, rookie for the Rangers. Hayden Singer, Speckles, Shohei Ohtani on the All-Star game, Jung-Ho Lee, Pete Alonso. There's Devin Williams on the foil. Yamamoto. There's Blake Snell. And Hai-Sung Kim on the black gold. I know. It's okay. $173 out of 250. That is for the Cleveland Guardians. Duo shines in Cleveland. Ramirez and Kwan. That is 173 of 250. Behind that, we got Ryan Sammons on the Speckles. Jeremy Pena. Luke Keyshaw. Shohei on the Mystical. Last pack of box 4. That is an on-card auto of rookie for the Houston Astros, Cam Smith. Nice hit for the Astros. Very nice hit for the Astros. This one is not numbered. That is Alejandro Osuna. Garrett Crochet on the All-Star game. Bryce Harper, Harmon Killebrew. Bonus packs. For the Cubbies, Jerome Walton, Bryce Harper, rookie Shane Smith for the White Sox, and rookie Zach Veen for Colorado. Second bonus pack. For the Cubbies, Slammin' Sammy. For the Mets, Darryl Strawberry. That is Miguel Cabrera on that throwback uniform. That's pretty cool. And there's Dylan Cruz for Washington. Box number 5. Box number 5. Box number 5. Here we go. That is Mick Abel for the Phillies. Mick Abel for the Phillies on the relic, not numbered. There's Andrew Heaney on the speckles for the Pirates. All-Star Riley Green. There's Matt Shaw, Bryce Harper. For the Cubs, on the speckles, we got Colin Ray, Clayton Kershaw, all his last All-Star game. What a great career he had. Chase Dollander. That's Kyle Tucker on the Mystical. Our next patch, Matt Shaw, rookie for the Cubs. Nice Matt Shaw. Rookie relic for the Cubbies. That one is not numbered. Ryan Miller for Detroit. Chris Burbick. Aaron Judge on the throwback. There's Matt Holliday on the Coors Field first pitch. There is Carson McCusker. Carson McCusker for the Twins. 291 out of 220, 2025. What do we got here of Harmon Killebrew? We got something special of Harmon Killebrew right here. That is a purple foil Harmon Killebrew MVP, also for the Twins. Nice hit for the Twinkies. That is Jack O'Lewin on the Speckles. Alex Bregman for the Red Sox. Marcelo Mayer, rookie throwback for the Red Sox. Chris Bryant, MVP. What do we have here? This is numbered 69 out of 99. Veteran combos. That is vintage stock. Vintage stock for the Padres. That's a sick looking card right there. Cool customers. Tatis. And is that Merrill? Yep. To 99 on the vintage stock. Nice hit. Drake Baldwin on the foil. Brian Wu. There's Max Muncy. Mookie Betts. Night Terrors. $75 out of 250. This will be purple. Mike Tauchman for the White Sox. There's Matt Korsky. All-Star Bobby Witt Jr. There's Ernie Banks, Hall of Famer for the Cubs. Ellie De La Cruz on the tops, black gold. Ellie De La Cruz, black gold. Nice hit for the Reds. That is 5 out of 50 gold. Veteran combos for the Beans. Boston Beantown Boys. Load up to 50. That is 5 out of 50. Christian Campbell, Marcelo Mayer. Logan Allen on the Speckles. That is All-Star Kyle Tucker. Justin Verlander, Paul Goldschmidt. Chad Patrick on the auto. That is for the Milwaukee Brewers rookie. Not numbered. Kevin Alcantara. That is Carlos Rodon on the All-Star game. Shohei. Juan Soto. Cam Smith, 919 out of 2025 for the Astros. There is Ellie on the grand giveaway. Grand giveaway Ellie Speckles. James Wood. Chandler Simpson. Shohei. Last pack of box number 5. Our auto is a rookie for the Twins. That's Deshaun Kiersey. Deshaun Kiersey. That is not numbered. Jake Berger. Ketel Marte. That's Mackenzie Gore. Our black gold is Ronald Acuna Jr. I love Topps. They always give extra autos and extra patches. Right now we've got 2 extra autos. We've got, should have 5 autos. We've got 7. We've got, should have 10 relics. 10, and that one right there is 11. God, Topps is so much better than Panini. Alright, we got 2 bonus packs. Our 2 Mojo, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Mojo packs. I think they're Mojo packs. Yeah, Mojo packs. Alright, we got Dylan Cruz, Aaron Judge, Austin Riley, and Will Smith. Come on, we need a Mojo auto. Let's go. Maddox, Sosa, Strawberry, Cabrera. We also need our case hit. We still don't have a case hit. Hometown advantage. We are still not pulled a hometown advantage or home field advantage. Alright. Let's get some of this Topps dust out of here. Let's get a clean last box. Clean last box. We'll put Jacob right there. Or Nick Kurtz right there. Last 10 packs. We'll put our bonus packs right there. Box number 6. Good luck, everybody, on the last box. If you haven't hit something, I hope you hit something now. Good luck to you. Should have 2 more relics, 1 more auto. Good luck on average. Alright, we got Edgar Quieto. Nice rookie for the White Sox. Foil. Gleyber Torres. That's Robert Hassel and Clayton Kershaw. That is Bailey Horn. Bailey Horn for Detroit. That is number 1981 out of 2025 to 150. Jonathan Rodriguez for Cleveland. Levi Jordan Speckle. Shohei All-Star. Jung Ho Lee. James Wood Mystical. That is Ryan Johnson for the Angels. Yamamoto. Blake Snell. Ronald Acuna. There is Hunter Biggie Hunter Biggie on the Speckles. Jeremy Pena, All-Star. There's Luke Keyshaw, Shohei Night Terrors. That is Caden Dana, rookie for the Angels, on the auto. Caden Dana, rookie auto for the Angels, not numbered. James Meeker. Gary Crochet. Bryce Harper, Albert Pujols. 5 packs to go. There is Roki Sasaki. Roki Sasaki, player worn memorabilia. World Series champ Roki Sasaki, not numbered. Michael Taylor on the Speckles. Vlad Guerrero All-Star. Ronald Acuna, Mike Trout. To 2025. Victor Mesa Jr. for the Miami Marlins. 1900 out of 2025. That's Dylan Carlson on the Speckles for the Baltimore Orioles. Julio. There's Mike Trout and Christian Yelich. Three packs to go. Where is our home field advantage? That is Trevor Story on the blue patch. Blue memorabilia for the Red Sox, Trevor Story. That is numbered 107 out of 150. 107 out of 150 on the player worn memorabilia. That one says game used, actually. Game used memorabilia. Mickey Gasper, Robbie Ray. We got Cam Smith. How about Luis Angel Acuna on the gold? Black gold, that is. Texas T. Black gold. And they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, for the black gold. Sorry, I'm old, guys. I know I remember the Beverly Hillbillies. 2 packs. Here we go. That's black gold right there. That's black gold in its first. So, what does that mean? That is Roki Sasaki black gold, and that is purple black gold. Purple short print black gold of Roki Sasaki. Woo, that's nice. That is sick. 232 out of 250. Cade Horton. Cade Horton, 223 out of 250. I got my numbers backwards. There's Thomas Sagasi on the Speckles. Max Fried All-Star. James Wood. Matt Shaw. not going to get a case hit. That's going to suck. $40 out of 99. That's Zach Veen. Zach Veen, 40 out of 99. Caleb Durbin. Matt Boyd. Moises Ballesteros and Mike Trout. No case hit. No home field advantage, guys. Sorry about that. Wish I could do it. Wish I could make it show up, but all right, here we go. Our 2 bonus packs. Let's at least get an auto out of this. Come on. Let's get us an auto out of these bonus packs. Ben Williamson. The Martian. Churio. That one is green. 30 out of 99. And there's an auto. And it's going to the Twins, and it's a sticker auto of Luke Keyshaw. Luke Keyshaw, 295 out of 299. 295 out of 299. So we got a number and an auto out of that. I guess we can't complain too much. Alright, we'll get a full recap in right after this last pack. Here it is. Last bonus pack. We got Lawrence Butler, Jackson Churio, James Wood, and Yorvit Vivas. Alright guys, there's your break. Appreciate you all for being here. Let's get a recap in. Nick Kurtz right there. That's a sick hit still. Alright, recap time to 2025. We got Victor Mesa, Bailey Horn, Cam Smith, Carson McCusker. We got Brady Fiegel, Mike Vassell, Tom Elko, Lake Botcher, Tirso Ornelas, Orlando Ribalta, Eric Sabrowski, John Rave, Chris Bubik, and Jake Magnum. Alright, we got purple. These are to 250. Cade Horton, Mike Talkman. That is the Cleveland Guardians. Miguel Rojas, J.C. Escara, Bailey Horn, Luis May, Romy Gonzalez. These are to 150 blue. Jonathan Rodriguez, Miles Mastrobuoni, Chase Meadroth, and Eric Orzi. To 99 green, Jackson Churio, Shane Smith, Nolan Ryan, Dalton Rushing, Zach Veen, and we had a vintage stock of the San Diego Padres. Gold to 50, we have the Boston Red Sox and Justin Steele. To 25, Hai-Song Kim for the LA Dodgers. And to 10, Adel Amador, rookie for the Colorado Rockies. Our short prints. We had these purples. Purple Tops Black Gold of Roki Sasaki. Harmon Killebrew MVP. Night Terrors Mike Trout. Bobby Witt Jr. Throwback. Max Fried All-Star Game. Aaron Judge All-Star Game. On the Aqua, we had Logan Van Huey and Zebby Matthews. We had Alejandro Osuna on the Golden Mirror short print variation. We had Nod and Smile for the Dodgers, of Shohei Ohtani. That is a sick card. I just had to put that in there. I know it's not a short print, it's a base card, but because it's a checklist, but. And then, how about rookie debut Speckles of Nick Kurtz? Again, just had to put it in there. All right, our black gold, we got Luis Angel Acuna, Ronald Acuna, Ellie De La Cruz, Hai-Song Kim, Juan Soto, Paul Skeens, Juan Soto again, Hai-Song Kim again, Dalton Rushing, and Matt Shaw. Our relics. Roki Sasaki. These are not numbered. Matt Shaw, Mick Abel, Marcelo Mayer, Max Fried, Shea Whitcomb, Cal Raleigh, Paul Skeens, Alejandro Kirk, Luis Angel Acuna, even with the pinstripe, is not numbered. This one is. This one's to, I believe, 150. Yeah, 107 of 150. Trevor Story for the Red Sox. And this one's to 99. That is Green Brooks Lee. 51 of 99 for the Twins. Our autos. Caden Dana. Deshaun Kiersey. Chad Patrick. Cam Smith. Drew Romo. Mick Abel. Adam Mazur. This is Luke Keyshaw. And this one is numbered to 299. Yes, 295 out of 299 on the Mojo Auto. And then this one is black to 10. Carlos Rodriguez Auto for the Brew Crew, 9 out of 10. But our hit of the break, black patch to 10. Nick Kurtz, 3-color patch, 10 out of 10. Just like this guy. Alright, there's your break, my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope to see you all next time. Have yourselves a great night. See you Tuesday. Peace!